And here we are now in the spring of 2020, faced with interesting times where being digital and online is vital to staying afloat in this current economy. Please give Shamira your attention as we dive into this webinar that will make you Zoom like a pro and give you an education on what other tools out there that are available. And with no further delay, Shamira Williams.
So, hi, how are you doing today? I want to let you know first and foremost, because I am a privacy freak about things, we are recording. So, if you do not want to be recorded, this is the time for you to, or you don't want your face to be recorded, this is the time for you to stop your video so that we can continue recording. I will pause for a second for that. If you have any questions on how to do that, raise your hand, because you are all on mute, so you can't talk. All right, well, like James said, I'm Shamira Williams. This is my passion. I love talking digital tools. I can go on and on about them. Typically, I'm not a talkative person, but this is my sweet spot and I happen to actually enjoy it. So without further ado, I'm going to start sharing my screen so that you can actually see my deck. All right, everybody see my deck? All right, so our agenda for today is to do introductions. We'll talk about the fact that a conference call or webinar is the same meeting, just a new location. We'll talk about the things you need to do before you get on the call, what you can do while you're on the call, and we will compare and contrast different platforms before we wrap up. Like I said, all of my resources are available on the Padlet that you can use, that you can access via scanning the QR code. This is me. James gave me a great introduction, so I don't have to do this again. So, who's in the room? We would like to know, one, I see most people's names are completed on their thing. So if you would like to change it, now is the time. If you would like to let us know what company you are from, feel free to edit your profile so that you can tell us. And we kind of want to have a little icebreaker. I have a friend that calls them an interlude, and I like that because I'm a music fan. If you've participated in more than 3 webinars before COVID-19, please clap. Okay. We just wanted to get a sense of how proficient people are or not. I've been working from home for about the last 7 years, primarily, and so I do webinars a lot, and it's convenient for me. I don't drive, so this is like right in my wheelhouse. And so let's talk about the fact that coming to a webinar is just like coming to a meeting, and now that we are all stuck at home, it's definitely like coming to our meetings. You still need to dress accordingly. I got a Zoom kit on my desk. Look, it got earrings, it got lip gloss, it got lotion, and a head wrap. So I can always look like I am presentable at the meeting, right? Put on a nice shirt, you're there. Find a good chair. Show up. Being present is a must. I know a lot of ladies are worried and like, I don't look so cute, I gotta get my stuff done. So are men thinking about their things, but being present is important at this point, right? We are all going through the same thing. And so making sure that you are there and engaged is very important. And so take a few minutes, put yourself together, come to the meeting, just like you come to the other meetings. Except you don't have to commute now. You just simply have to come on in and set your camera up and be there. I like to say though, while you are at your meetings at home, let's talk about sensitivity of information, because sometimes you get on a call and you are going to have a sensitive conversation. And so you do want to consider where you want to be located at, who else can hear you. And if you think the conversation will be that sensitive, I highly recommend that you utilize earphones. It's that simple. I also want to make sure that I say that if you have a voice application in your home, that's like an Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, turn them off while you're on private conversations because they pick up those mics and it's just good practice, okay? You are still responsible for some confidentiality in the information that you're sharing. Also, if you were talking to Emily about your Kiva loan, do you want everybody to know? You might not. So that's just one of those little tips. It's still a meeting. Come, show up. Remember, we can all see you just like you can all see us. It's also giving you a little insight into your friends and family. Before you get started, we want to always make sure that you do a check on your tech. One, do you need an account? Do you need to install software or is it web-based? What type of internet connection do you have? Are you wired or wireless? I highly recommend that you try to use a wired connection, especially if you're going to host a webinar or a call. It works better. If you find that you are on a call and it's really choppy and both of you guys keep freezing, you might not have enough bandwidth right now. And so it might be best for one person to turn off their video or both people to turn off their video. Also think about the time of the day that you are scheduling your meeting. We're all on right now. So if you know that you're like, hey, my neighborhood has a bunch of people working from home and everybody seems to be working at the same time, try to schedule your meetings at a different time. We're all home right now. You have a little bit of more flexibility. Don't go overboard though. I'm an early riser. I'm never going to say, hey, let's get on a conference call at 6 a.m. That's a little early. That's a little sketchy. Although, if you work with a certain type of clientele, that actually might be a sweet spot for you guys. So don't be afraid to think about what your customer needs and what's available to you. I definitely want you to check the battery life on your device. There is nothing worse than your camera, than your cell phone or your tablet or your laptop going dead in the middle of your webinar. And what background sounds can you hear? Hey, we're at home. Maybe your significant other or partner is in the room and so they're on another call. Maybe you have children and they're on and you can hear them in the background. Maybe someone is cutting a tree outside of your house. And so we want to be able to cancel our background noise. This app called Krisp that you can see on this deck, it is a noise canceling app. So you can't hear anything in the background. You just download it and install it on your computer or your laptop, and it will cancel out all the noise in the background for you. So you don't got to worry about your kids. They could just be right there talking to you and everybody else can't hear them, or the tree can be getting cut, or whatever else needs to go on in your background. It's a 14-day free trial, and after that, I believe it's about $7 a month. But if you are going to be home and working, it's probably worth your $7. You might even want to come in with a friend and collaborate. All right, before your first call, find a comfortable seat. I just ordered one of those balls because that's what I prefer. If you do and you're bouncing on the ball, you might want to tell people that you're a bouncer, okay? So that they don't think that your screen is messed up or that you're just going around. Also, find a stable place for your device. Little hat trick, hey, if you feel like your laptop or device is down and you're going like this, you kind of want to bring your face up, put some books there so it looks like you're eye level with people, and put your device on top of those books. How's the lighting in your room? Little trick, the windows in your house, they should be in front of you. And so the camera should be, the window should be behind the camera. Gives you better lighting. If you're going to be doing this and you know, like, this is a pivot for my company, you might want to invest in a ring light. They can be very cost effective and it can go on your cell phone if you are a mobile user. If you are at home and you feel like, hey, I'm going in and this is going to be a thing, I brought a green screen kit that came with 2 lights and a whole green screen for about $80 about 3 years ago. Best investment I ever made. Great lighting, right? If you have people in your home, let them know you're on a call. Make a little sign, create a little code for you guys. Think about when we were in college and we all had a code about our doors. Create something to let other people know that you're on a call. Last week I was on a call and my neighbor was calling my name outside. And I'm just like, I can't even answer her because I'm on a call and I'll look crazy to all the rest of the people. But because I had Chris, nobody could hear her calling me. But afterwards I was like, so I'm still working. And like I'm on a call, and being on a call is still at work. And so letting people know that is important. Let's talk about your background. What's visible in your background? Because now we are giving people a little bit of insight, not only into who we are, but into our homes. And so you can do a little staging. This picture is from a couple of weeks ago when I wanted it to look like we were, CC Busy was going to do a video. We knew we were going to shoot from home. Originally, we were going to shoot from Alpha Lab, and I still wanted to give it that flavor. So I have a whiteboard wall in my house, and I just put some dots on there and put a little poster there and a plant. So it looks really nice and pulled together, but that's not how my office typically is. It's not. And so do a little staging if necessary, especially if you were talking to a funder. All right, same thing goes. You dress a little better when you talk to a funder. Do a little extra staging when you want to talk to them too while you're online. All right, so that's really the overview. No matter what platform you're on, those are just some general things. We are all still in these meetings. The meeting is the same. The location is just different, right? So what platform is for you? Everyone is on Zoom primarily right now because it's free and it's a standalone platform. It's really simple and it's easy to use. But there is also Google Hangouts, Google Meets, Microsoft Teams, free Microsoft Teams, and a host of other platforms. You will need to spend a little bit of time before your first calls thinking about what's for you, where you're at, and what's going to be your go-to for your company. But when you're on one, you just got to jump in. And so we'll talk about the various platforms at the end, but I did want to give you an overview that there are multiple platforms out there and that today we will be primarily talking about Zoom. So all of my examples will be from Zoom. After this, I will upload videos of Microsoft Teams and Google Meet. So now you have another communications platform. So if you had social media and you're like, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter and I'm on LinkedIn, well, now you're on Zoom technically because it's nothing but a new communication system. And you can customize it to make yourself branded and managing your profile, right? Hey, do the skin reaction tones. Whether you want to clap or do a thumbs up, it's nice to make it feel like it's a part of you. Add a virtual background, which is what I have going on right now. Set it to this point that it looks like your company. It's branded for you. I purposely didn't put my company name here, but I could have. I was going all in last night, and then I was like, well, keep it simple. I just used Canva to make the image, and then I threw the QR code on it and some words. They have some pre-done ones. Do what works best for you, but it's a great way to set yourself apart from the rest of the people on the meeting because people are going to look at your background and be like, hey, who? How you do that? At least that much, okay? And so take your time and build out your profile. Add a headshot to your profile, add your proper name to it. Go into your settings and make sure that your camera is set there, that your audio is there. That makes it simple that anytime you need to jump on a call, you're ready. I love to say, I don't got to get ready because I stay ready, right? And so if all of your settings are set up, when you log on or somebody just says, hey, can we jump on a quick call? Because all of them aren't going to be scheduled. You're like, yeah, I can just jump on a quick web call with you or video call with you, because now it offers you the option to add your contacts in there, add, connect with people. You can actually do chats. It'll tell you my status, if I'm on, if I'm away. So remember that these are new platforms that let people engage and communicate with you. It's not just a one-time system. You can turn on Zoom and be on Zoom all day, and people can talk to you any way they would at any point. So they could just send you a chat. So instead of texting you, you might not want to give out your phone number. Your office, if you're moving from working from an office to home, you might not want to give people your personal cell phone number. So pushing them through your Zoom account is a nice way to keep all of your communications in a central location. All right. If you registered for this call, which I hope you did, you will get a confirmation. And in your confirmation message, there's always the link, right, that says join, click here to join. Sometimes it's a long link and it looks ugly, but either way, click the link to join. It'll give you your call-in numbers. Some people don't want to use their audio on their computer because it might not be set up properly, or they might need to be mobile and move. So feel free to dial in. Let's talk about passwords really quick. So you can set up a password for your account. You can set up a password for each individual webinar. You can just have an account. Your account can just have a standard password. If you host a webinar that is going to be to the public, don't add your password to the posting. Make people register for your webinar. You have two benefits in that. One, you now have their email address, so you can send them messages at any other time and for future things. Two, it's called the password for a reason. And the standard account password doesn't actually change. So if you just grabbed your standard account password and slapped it on there, you've given the password for all of your upcoming and later Zoom accounts. Treat it like a password, just like your email address. If you don't need the password, just don't use the password feature. Don't post the password, just don't use the password. All right, now let's talk about getting on a call. But before we do that, I want to take a quick little pause and say, feel free to ask questions in the chat. James and Emily are monitoring it, so we will be able to answer those questions at the end of the call. All right, no matter what platform you use, you're going to need to get familiar with the toolbar. They are all pretty much, some of the icons are standard, right? The phone looks like a phone. The video looks like a video recorder. The mic for your audio is always going to look like a mic. When they want you to look at screen share, it will always look like a box with an arrow on it. The record button will always look like the standard record button. Take some time before your call to master your platform if the call is important to you. Maybe it's just 5 minutes, maybe it's 10 minutes. If you're hosting, please take time to learn a couple of the features beforehand. All right, so we talked about editing your profile at the beginning of the call. And so I want to make sure that you can actually do that. If you hit manage participants, which is at the which is on your toolbar, you should be if you have access, which will depend on the host, you can rename yourself right inside of the meeting. And that will let you, so sometimes hosts want to do icebreakers and will say, oh, change your name to the last movie you went to go see, right? That's their way of trying to do an icebreaker without trying to go to every person around. You can also edit your profile there too. So if you and your significant other or colleague or whoever are sharing an account, maybe you need to go in there and edit your profile every once in a blue moon. So I want you to keep your profile up to date, because if you turn off your video, your profile picture will come up. And so even if you don't want it to be your picture, feel free to make it your logo, because it will still set a brand for you. Make sure your name is clear. If you want to add your email address or contact information, great little hat tip trick. That way people can always know how to talk to you. Stay engaged. You are in a meeting, right? We're here. There's the chat over there. You can do reactions, right? If you look at your toolbar, there's an option for reactions. If you can't see it, you might have to press where it says more so that you can see it. But I want everybody to take just a second and either in the chat, because you have multiple options, you can talk to everyone. And I want to tell you, introverts, this is a great networking space for you. Jump in there. You can either say hi to everyone, you can talk to individuals, or you can share folders. If you are a thought leader in something, great space for you to share information, right? So if you're like, oh, well, I see everybody's asking a question about this, I know the answer. Hey, drop a link, upload a file. Maybe you already have something from your own company that you can share, okay? Maximize the chat for yourself. You see somebody who might be a potential client for you, or you might be a good connection. Hit that individual chat. Hey, how are you doing? Want to get coffee later? You want to go do a call later? Well, you can't do coffee. Well, you can do a virtual coffee, but do you want to get together? Maximize the chat. You can also directly contact the host. So maybe you have a question that you want the host to follow up on just between the two of you. Send them a message. Some of you people, there's somebody hosting a webinar that you've wanted to talk to for a long time. Jump on their webinar and ask them your question and participate in their webinar. It makes you engage, and it'll make it easier for them to engage with you. Let's talk about troubleshooting, because this is where all of us decide that, you know what, I just might not want to be a part of this no more. All right. So with your audio, the first question you should ask is, are you muted? If you're muted, there'll be a red line across the mic. Next, check your volume. It's many times that your own computer system volume is actually turned down or turned off. Do you have an echo? If you're having an echo, if you are watching on a desktop or laptop and then you're trying to listen on your phone, your audio on your computer may be picking up the audio on the phone, so that may give you an echo. So just see what's happening if you have more than one audio item turned on. Or you want a headset, because that'll have a different feel to it. And sometimes headsets don't connect. I have a friend whose Bluetooth headset never connects when they try to get on a Google Hangout call. But if we're on a Zoom call, it works just fine. So it could easily just be your headset. I want everyone to try to mute themselves for a second.
Hi, everyone. Join us tomorrow when we'll be
Okay, and then we can unmute ourselves.
best practices around virtual teaching, virtual.
And then people who don't
selling.
unmute themselves, Emily will mute you back up, or James.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day and be safe.
If we can all mute ourselves again, that's awesome, right? So we at least know how to use that feature. Somebody's using the tool, the handwriting thing, because I see that I got some written word, a line through my deck on my screen. I love it. Next, troubleshooting your video, right? Is your video just off? I have it set that my video is always off when I enter a webinar. I prefer that. Actually, every time I enter a webinar, my mic is muted and my video is off. Look, we are humans. Things happen. You think that you turned on your webcam, or you didn't turn on your webcam, and you walking away and you still got on pajama pants because you ain't sat down yet and nobody can see, or you ran to the bathroom or you're eating something. Come in with everything muted and just spend the 2 seconds clicking on your video and your audio. All right. It's much simpler that way. I'm telling you. Don't be like the lady who got caught in the bathroom and her coworkers shared it on the internet, or the man who he just rolled up. I think he was like, didn't think his camera was on yet. And so he came to his desk to check everything, but he was still fresh out the shower. His boss was like, yeah, from now on, clothes are mandatory for these meetings. And so, you don't want to be like Teddy Riley either and have like a whole check. Like, you got everything going. You look good in your video. Nobody can hear you. Can I hear you now? No, you can't hear me. You got echo. No, don't do that. All right. So for your videos, check in, make sure it's on. So I want everybody to just try to stop their video really quick. Restart your video. All right. I get to see some new people, so that was, I purposely did that because it'll change the grid up. All right. I see y'all coming back. Now, I talked about this virtual background that I have, and you've seen it when I was inside of the settings. But if you hit that down arrow next to your video, it will offer you the option to choose a virtual background right inside of the system. And so I'm going to do that really quick. Golden Gate Bridge, hey. I kind of really do want to be on the beach though, right? To just be like, some of y'all want this. Guess what? You can make your own. Become fancy. If you have a green screen, you can tell it that you have a green screen. It'll make it better. And you can mirror in your video, so it'll flip it the other direction so people can see it properly. Another hat trick. Look, you on video, you want to go do something else. Make sure you turn off your video. Hit the chat to be like, I'll be right back. I'm getting ready to get super fancy and think I'm going to make a GIF for the times that I do want to get up and just let people think that I'm still sitting there and shaking my head. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Come to your meetings. All right, screen share. Screen share is for the win. You want to share your screen because you want to be able to let Emily see your Kiva application, or let James review your BizFit information, or help if somebody's helping you with your financials. You want to be able to share your screen. I am not going to share my screen beyond what I'm sharing it in this process because of confidentiality on the rest of my screens. But if you go to your toolbar where it says share, it will give you the option to share your screen. If you have more than one screen, In your office, it'll let you see both screens. That's why I have screen 2 and screen 1. If you have a whiteboard in your office, it'll let you share that. If you have an iPad, it'll let you share that, or your iPhone. If you do screen clipping, which is when you can actually just screenshot a part of your screen, it will let you do that. Little hot tip, inside of your settings, it will let you block screen capture for iPhone. I'm going to highly recommend that. I'm also going to recommend that you be mindful of what you put in chats because they can be downloaded and shared, okay? So if you want to have a private conversation and it's going to get really private, do not have that private conversation in Zoom. Please take it to your cell phone, text messaging, or to an actual phone call. You don't want that to happen to you in your lifestyle. So those are just 2 things that I want people to actually be mindful of too. Is the chat is downloadable or savable, whether it's private or public, and to be mindful when you are sharing your screen about what you are sharing. And don't forget that people can record locally and the host can record. So that's also something to be mindful to. Once again, you are still at a meeting. It's just a new location. Does anyone have any questions about screen sharing? Because there's some other options. In advance, you can share your screen for music if you simply want to share the audio out of your music. So music producers and things like that. If you did want to just send audio over, you can do that. It will optimize for video sharing. I see a hand raised.
Yes, so we had one question in regards to that exact topic from Renee Farrow, and he was asking that she couldn't share her screen at the same time you were sharing yours.
No, she cannot. And the host can actually determine who has access to share screens. So if you are hosting one, you could say that no participants can share their screen. You can actually give participants access to share their screen on an individual basis, or you can give everyone access to share their screen. And if you are sharing your screen, you can do multiple screen shares at a time, right? I have 2 screens. I can pause this screen share and get another screen and start sharing it. So if I wanted to share something, I'm going to do another workshop for the Cricut machine, and I actually prefer to use the iPad app. I will share my iPad off of one screen, and I'll share my desktop version on another screen. Also, the screen option that says files will actually open up your cloud file sharing service or your cloud and let you share directly from there. So you can share directly from your Google Drive, your OneDrive, Box, or Dropbox. Speaking of pausing one screen for another screen, I am going to stop this screen share. And so that's great. I'm done with my deck because I actually do want to move over to Microsoft Teams and Teams for free. The biggest difference between Microsoft Teams and then Microsoft Teams free is one, payment. That's the biggest one. And Microsoft Teams free is actually new. They did not offer a free version of it until COVID-19. And so the free version doesn't let you schedule a meeting, and it doesn't allow you to record the meeting. So Microsoft Teams works, I won't say similar to Zoom, but yet and still similar to Zoom. It's kind of like Zoom met Slack, if you know what Slack is. How many people know what Slack is? Can I just get a hand raise on that one? All right. So this is what Microsoft Teams really looks like. When you come in and you're at home, I got to go back to my home screen. Cancel. And you're at home. Mine doesn't want to go home for me for some odd reason. There we go. There we go. And you're at home, you can just add people. You can create channels. So I have 2 channels. I have a general channel and then I have a Zoom like a pro channel. And in this channel, I can start a whole conversation. So if I was adding people to this channel on this team, I could start talking to you and just having a full conversation. The only people on this channel is myself again. You can send gifts and reactions, and you can start a webcam and have a bright idea or raise your hand or give praise. And then they also have a ton of other app add-ons for it. I have added to the Padlet of my resources a bunch of videos, pre-done videos on Microsoft Teams that is done by Microsoft, but I'll actually do my own Microsoft Teams video that mimics what I just did for Zoom, and I'll upload it there. The great thing about Microsoft Teams is it's integrated through Office 365. So if you're a big Office 365 user or your team is a big Office 365 user, the integration is seamless. So it makes you easily able to have conversations right on your documents or spreadsheets or PowerPoints. You won't have to exit those applications to have conversations around documents you're working on. And so that's a really nice feature. The same thing is really going to happen in Google. And so the difference between a Google Hangout and Google Meet, they are not created equally. Google Hangouts goes to an account that is at Gmail. So I have a private personal Gmail account. I would have to use Google Hangouts. But I also have Google Suites, which is a paid Google account that is at my company domain. And so on that platform, you use Google Meets. Google Meets has a lot more features than Google Hangouts. They do talk to each other, so it doesn't make a difference if somebody is on Google Hangouts or Google Meet. If the person who is hosting the meeting uses Google Meets, which is under a paid Google account, and the other person only has a Gmail account, they'll just be asked for a code, just like a password. Just give them that code and then they'll type it in and they'll just join the call just like regular. That is the biggest difference in between those 2 platforms. I love Google because it's just embedded right into your Gmail account, right? Like if you schedule a meeting with your calendar feature through Google, it'll let you add the conference call right there. As a matter of fact, let's do that. So that's good. This is Google Meets. You can just start a call right there from the platform. I would tell them what it was. It lets me join now. Once again, my camera failed because I'm already on my camera. My mic is just picking up exactly what I'm already doing. You can use the phone. I can actually present. Theirs is often called present. And I'm done. If I actually had wanted to schedule this in advance, I would have gone to my calendar, and then I'm going to pause my screen sharing. Create, show more options. And then right here where it says add conference call link, it lets me add my Hangouts Meet right there. So the person just has to click on there. So when I send them their calendar invite, it is simply going to send that to them, and it's already embedded. Everything, all their call information will be there. They don't have to do anything extra. So that's nice if your team is already on Google. It's already built in and seamless. Does anybody have any questions, or are there any questions in the chat that I should be aware of?
Yes, so we have a good group of questions in our chat queue. And I'll start off with the first one that came right before we talked about the Q&A portion.
Mm-hmm.
So we did have a question from Cynthia Yates that asked about our presentation being sent out to everyone, and it actually will be uploaded to our website in a few days, so we can answer that question right away. The next question was, Paula Castleberry was asking about how she can add her profile picture and register with Zoom.
Oh, if you go to, I think their website is actually zoom.us. But if you just Google Zoom and the first one that comes up that's official, sign up for a free account. I'll drop the link in. I'll actually just drop the link in the on the Padlet, and then I'll put it in the comments too. Yes, it's zoom.us.
Okay.
And once you get inside, it'll say sign up, and just roll through the sign up. There's a free version, right? The free version does have some limits on it, okay? The free version will only let you have a call for 40 minutes, which actually could work to your benefit, okay? If you got somebody who talks a lot and you want to manage your time, you get on a free Zoom call with them and you let them know you only got 40 minutes, okay? Keep it moving, all right? I got a friend, we be like, we're gonna have a 40-minute call, and then 4 hours go by. We never talk on Zoom. We never get on Zoom. If you are using your company Zoom account, don't be calling your friends. Be mindful, okay? Because the company still own that account. So don't be having your little happy hours on your company Zoom account. You don't want that to come back to you in HR in a couple of months, okay? Don't do that. Get yourself a free account by yourself. That's really, I'm really being serious, but yet a little funny, but no, seriously. Your company owns the account. Be mindful of that. So if you're using a company account, a school account, a nonprofit account, you know, somebody else's account, be mindful of the meetings that you set in there, because it actually is going on their account. It's worth you just setting up a free account for yourself. Any more questions?
Yes, I'm sorry about that, Shamir. Yeah, so we do have another question from Pamela Collier, Lord Marketing Group. She has a question about, can we teach them how to use FB Live with Zoom and also with having guests?
That's an Emily and James account question out. I mean, Instagram battles are up, so somebody should do one. Like, that is going to be a thing. Instagram battles, Facebook Live, social media tools, but that's something that our Riverside has to decide if they want to do that. But if somebody doesn't and she wants that, she should reach out to some people. A teenager will probably be the best person for her. They probably want the money too. They're in school. Tell them to do it for an assignment. I bet you there's a teacher on here, that's a good assignment. Get on Microsoft Teams and put that up there and be like, if you can teach somebody how to use something, that's a great assignment. Great intergenerational item.
So we got 2 questions following that. And the first one is, how do you use the whiteboard in Zoom? And can you share YouTube videos via Zoom?
Yes, you can share YouTube videos via Zoom, and you need a whiteboard to use the whiteboard feature. Right? So like, if you don't have a whiteboard, the closest thing that you can come to it is probably your iPad, because you can just directly write on it, or any other tablet that you can just directly write on. Like I can write on my Surface, I can write on my iPad, I can write on my other Google tablet. So I would recommend using that if you don't have an official whiteboard.
Okay.
And there's a whiteboard app. I have to find it. And I'll send it to Emily. Yes, an electronic whiteboard like we had over at Urban Innovation 21.
Sounds good. So currently, I believe that was the last question, but we did have one more question that came in from Renee Farrow as well. And she's asking, why can you not add emails when you schedule your meeting? And do you need to pay to be able to do that?
You should be able to invite people to your meeting just by adding their email. You probably need to add them to your contacts too. But I've emailed people, but you just want to add people in your system without them actually registering. So you want to be like, Shamira's coming to this meeting with me. Emily, can you unmute her? I want to appreciate all of you guys for taking the time to come to this session.
Hi, I got it.
Feel your faces too. Hey, Renee.
Hey, so when I go to set up a call, I'm going to schedule something for the weekend. I can only copy and paste it, and I have to have people's emails, even if they're already in my account. I don't see a place on there where I can actually add their emails. So I have to copy that link and then send it out to them. And then how do you get it from your computer to your phone and send it in a message? I can't figure that out either.
Okay, so I'm going to go and start scheduling a meeting. So, all right. I need to share my screen again.
And I do have a free account, so I thought maybe that was a reason.
All right. Advanced options. Okay. Are you using this type of platform, or are you actually on the browser?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm using that platform.
You need to go to the browser, because on the browser,
And then I have a hard time getting to the browser.
there is a trick to get to your browser from that little thing.
Yeah, there really is.
You actually have to hit a button that's called like advance on there.
Where was the advance at?
Right. Go into your setting thing. Oh, yeah, settings. That's where I usually go. And I usually have to hit more settings.
Settings and more settings. Okay.
And then you seen that my web portal popped right up. And so if I want to go in there and do a meeting,
Right,
right, it tells you right there how much time you're going to get.
right.
Can you see my, wait, can everyone see that screen about scheduling a meeting? Okay.
Yes.
You can make it reoccurring. Right here, you can see about the password. And once you set this, let me just do demo, yada, yada. Yes, yes. I'll just leave everything where it is. You see right there, it'll say copy invitation.
Right.
Or you can add to your Google Calendar or your other calendars. And the easiest way is just to add it to your calendar and
Yeah.
let people, and then add those people to your calendar event.
Yeah, I just thought maybe there was something easier in there that you could actually add. Wouldn't that be great? You could just add people's emails on one of those sections on the left-hand side. But I thought I was missing something because you couldn't do it and you got to do more steps.
Well, here's the other thing. There is a lovely add-on between Zoom and MailChimp. So if you use MailChimp, you can actually, well, if you don't, set up a free account, use MailChimp, and it will actually, when you send out your e-blast or your campaigns, you can integrate your Zoom invitations directly in.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I also think the Zoom has an add-on, an app add-on for Eventbrite. Yes, but that one might have just been released.
Oh, so we should go in and run any additions that they do. And then you think that's in there?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you don't have a MailChimp account, you would set one up. If you have an Eventbrite, you would actually just need to go inside of the apps integration section, which is under your settings, and then you can add that link together.
What was it called?
MailChimp?
No, the other one. I thought you said.
Oh, Eventbrite.
Eventbrite. Okay.
You can also get a Zoom add-on for your Google account, I think, or
Okay.
it will do a transfer for you.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, Shamira, we did get 2 more additional questions that came in.
Mhm.
I glossed over the last one. I forgive me, Tina, for skipping you. Tina asked if you needed a green screen to do the virtual backgrounds.
No, this one is not with a green screen. I purposely did one without a green screen. Hat tip to women who wear natural hair: don't use a white background. Your hair gonna be, it's gonna be a hot mess. It's gonna look like this thing is just yeah. Don't do that to yourself. I tried that last night. When I say you're gonna look crazy, folks is gonna be like, is her head swimming? What's going on with her hair? Girl, I don't know. She definitely need to hit the hairdresser when we get out. Don't do that to yourself. Dude, like, my background's a little grayish just for that reason. And I really took a stock photo. I don't wanna fake y'all out. I took a stock photo.
Okay, that was going to be my next question, Shamira. Tips for to provide that background, but you just said that you use a stock photo.
Uh-huh.
So we do have another question from Pamela Collier, and
Yep.
she said, in terms of using Chrome, can you download the extension and schedule a Zoom call from your Gmail account?
No. You can schedule the call, but you're gonna have to get all the Zoom account information in your Gmail. And she's asking if she could do it from her Chrome. Let me make sure that I understand her version of what she means by Chrome. Because Chrome has an add-on for Zoom, but I don't think that's what she means. If you can unmute her, I'll actually just have a conversation.
Okay, give us a second. Emily, can you unmute Pamela Collier?
Hi, Shamira. Hi, everybody. This is wonderful. So thank you so much. I think we are all learning and growing together. I was just sharing with Renee that I had the same trouble that she did. And what I did was I have a MacBook. I added the extension on Chrome instead of trying to use Safari. And as a result, I schedule from Gmail. And so now I can go right into Gmail and it asks, just like it asked, do you want to do a Google Hangout? It also now asks, is this a Zoom meeting?
Yes,
And
so that was the integration that I was talking about, but that's why I had to clarify Chrome for you, because yes, if you use the Chrome browser and you install all the integrations, yes, it will let you just do it directly from your Google account. I will send Emily the links to how to, and put them on a Padlet for the integrations for MailChimp, for Gmail, and for Eventbrite.
And may I just add one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to do, I work with community groups, and in this age, they don't want to have community meetings. They want to have Facebook Live, but you can't have a million different folks that aren't in the same room, I don't think, on Facebook Live. So I was thinking that maybe I could have the host on Zoom and then connect it to Facebook. But I don't know if that's something that you're familiar with. And if you're not, that's okay, I'll keep searching. But that was what my question was for.
Oh, well, this is kind of a hack, and I have not tried this. So don't take my word for it. But if you were on Zoom and then you made your Facebook Live video be your screen and just shared it, right? Like shared your screen that Zoom was on through your Facebook Live.
Okay, all right, I'll try it. Fingers crossed. Thank you.
The other way I would tell you to go, and I know it's not Zoom, but if you have a Google Suites account, it will let you broadcast. So Google has had this broadcast feature for a while now. So, right, like you have a YouTube thing, and then they called it Google On Air or Google Hangouts on Air a while ago. They always changing the names of their stuff. Anyways, you can just broadcast, right? And they'll turn your broadcast automatically into a YouTube video so that people can just go back and watch it over and over again. So a broadcast would let you not have a number of people that can watch, like anybody can just pop in. And only the people who are the monitors can control, like who can chat and things like that. But a broadcast would let you it would be out there for people to be able to just jump on and watch. And that might be simpler because you would be able to push the broadcast to Facebook, and it would just show up for you. But Facebook wants you to use Facebook, so Facebook Live is going to be a thing. And I listened to Squawk Box this morning, which is on CNBC, and they talked about how Instagram is now trying to think of a new play since everyone is home and wants to do verses.
So we do have another question, and definitely seems like Pamela is well versed in using Zoom. And I'll let you kind of follow up. So Renee had a question in terms of how do you get the link to join from your laptop to message on your cell? Pamela had replied and said you download from your Play Store the Zoom application.
Yeah.
Can we confirm that is true and correct?
You definitely can. So you can have Zoom on your desktop, your laptop, your tablet, and your mobile device. Your account becomes seamless, so it doesn't make a difference which platform you're on. Even on it, so whatever phone you have, you need to go to your apps store, you can download Zoom. You can share your screen from your phone if you are doing a phone item. It may be only under paid though. That might not be a free item to be able to cast from your phone. Don't forget that somebody else was just asking me, the person who was just asking, you can Chromecast too. So don't forget that if somebody has like a big TV and you already have Google Assistant in your house or set up and y'all are both on the same Wi-Fi, you can cast stuff to anything that is internet accessible, right? So I have a Google Home Mini. I can actually cast this screen to my Google Home Mini downstairs in my house. And that's just using the little Chromecast feature on your stuff. So maybe you want to see something like, and I'm saying this like if you're going to do a family Zoom and you don't want everybody sitting on top of each other in front of the laptop or your tablet, Chromecast that bad boy on the TV. You be like, hey, grandma, how y'all doing? It's going to pick up your phone, but you'll be able to see the big screen. Oh. Renee, answer your question offline if you don't mind. I don't know. Anybody else got any other questions? Otherwise,
So I was getting ready to say we're a little bit over the time, but I think all the information that came across was informative and vital for businesses during these times of being digital and online. We will have additional webinars. Actually, our next one is coming up tomorrow in terms of OSHA and being safe as you come back to work.
I gotta jump on that.
Yeah. We really appreciate our guests this afternoon, and we look forward to continue bringing resources to entrepreneurs in the Pittsburgh region.
Thank you very much for having me. I want to say have a lovely time, and just try it. Sometimes it's just about trying it. You might find something that somebody else don't know that makes you the thought leader of your whole group. Folks be like, hey, how you do this? And you telling you, if you come with these virtual screens, everybody on your team gonna be like, how you get that? How you get that? At least tell me how you get that. You can be like, you should call me later. I'm telling you. So I want you all to have a lovely evening, and make sure you make space to laugh during these times. It's good for the soul.
True indeed. So that will conclude today's session. We look forward to staying connected with you. Stay safe and stay healthy. Take care.